This video demonstrates the historical income and expense fuzzy logic matching for chart of account line items that the JLL VASsistant offers you. To illustrate this functionality, let's first note that in this file, the property major type, as N1 lists it, is multifamily. Therefore, the income and expense line item examples that we're going to be seeing pertain to the multifamily property type. So let's go to the tab real quick, historical income and expense reconstruction. This should look familiar to you, where the owner's income is here up top. There is a column to enter in the owner's income line items, and then a column directly to the left to recategorize those to the JLL property type specific income chart of account line. And then down below, there are the owner's expenses. Owner's categorization here, JLL categorization to the left. So let's return to top. And there's some quick navigation buttons here, so you can jump down to the expenses or go back to the top. To demonstrate this functionality, I have some example income line items that I have taken from an old valuation. If I paste those in here, you can see that the code has automatically assigned an income line item that it tried to match to the owner's chart of account line. So for example, gross potential triggers rental income. Parking triggered net parking income. Reimbursements triggered expense reimbursements. If you type in nonsense or something that the logic matching does not recognize, it's just going to give you a drop-down menu here so that you can put the income line item that you choose. All of these, in fact, are drop-downs. So if you don't like what the automatic matching has categorized, you can override that. It's pretty flexible. The logic here uses keywords. So for example, if I have utility here, it's going to assume it's an expense reimbursement. If I type abat, it's going to assume it's abatements. So it works off these keywords, and as long as it matches any part of certain keywords that are stored in the back in a hidden tab, it will match it to the correct JLL income line item. Now notice the items that are available to you in this drop-down menu are the only ones that are available in Narrative 1. Narrative 1 restricts the income and expense line items. They are property type specific, but it restricts only to certain line items so that they are compatible with the upload back into the N1 web database. So if you have an income line item here or an expense line item below that does not match an item here in the dropdown, you can categorize it as other income, and it will still be uploaded back into the N1 web database. It's the same functionality with the expenses. I have some example expenses here. If we paste those in, the same thing happens. So total payroll matched to payroll, total utilities here. Total professional went to general and admin, total taxes went to taxes, so on and so forth. Other fixed expenses it did not recognize, so it tells you to choose that from a drop-down. Again, this drop-down is restricted to only those that correspond to the multifamily property type, and those, again, that are compatible with the N1 web database. Again, if you type in nonsense here, it gives you a drop down for anything it doesn't recognize. It works off of keywords here too, so anything with, for example, electricity in it would get matched to total utilities. Anything with janitor, cleaning and janitorial, or even just Janet. gets matched. Anything with R/M gets put into repairs and maintenance. Matter of fact, anything with maint or rep gets put into repairs and maintenance. Those are the keywords that trigger that line item. Adver is a keyword that goes to advertising and marketing, so on and so forth. So that's how this functionality works. Again, based on keywords. You'll obviously still need to skim over the auto classifications to make sure it matches your expectations. But hopefully this will save you some time, and all you'll need to do is just override the critical few that it doesn't match instead of having to type in each one. There's one more thing to show here, so let's back those out. Multifamily is obviously one of the so-called 4 food groups, the 4 major property types. Multifamily, office, industrial, and retail are the 4 major food groups. If you select a property major type that is not part of those 4 major property types, for example, if we choose senior housing, and then we go back to the historical income and expense, there is no standardized list of income and expense line items for seniors housing built into narrative 1. So now you can see it is made visible lists to type in custom income account line items and custom expense chart of account line items. And you can see here the drop down now corresponds to your custom list. So if I just type in income item number 1, item 2, item 3, those are now my custom income items. And if I type in over here expense item 1, expense 2, expense 3, so now I can type in my income line items here that are custom, and it will still try and recognize them. So it'll still match them up to the existing keywords, but particularly if you have custom chart of account line items here, you're going to have to choose these one by one, provided that it doesn't automatically match to the custom item that you have here. So then you would just do this much the way that you normally would and select each one. And then same thing down here in the expenses. No, let's use the navigation here. Expense, custom, 1, etc. So again, that is only with property types that are outside the 4 major property types of retail, multifamily, industrial, and office. If you choose one of the property major types that are in the 4 main ones and then go back here, you can see that is automatically hid the customized chart of account lists. And that is all for this piece of functionality. That is all of the functionality that the JLL VASsistant offers at this point. The fuzzy logic matching here in the income and expense chart of accounts, the quick navigation tab, protect, unprotect all, and the remove and add cell shading. You'll notice there is one more button, and that is to input TREP income and expense comps. That functionality is not yet available, but will be soon with certain property types that use TREP income and expense comps. Thank you.